Well, we are back with 10 more shorts from Morpars. I hope you'll enjoy the video and make sure to consider subscribing and liking the video as you watch it. But let us begin with the videos. 10 more shorts. Starting with this one.
World's deadliest tree.
Is it in Australia?
Tree, found in the United States of America and the Caribbean.
Why is it here? Why is the tree here? I don't want the tree to be here.
And you may be wondering, what makes it so deadly? And the answer is that when growing this thing, God used the same design philosophy that Miyazaki uses when he puts a swamp in a FromSoft game. Because even thinking about the fucking thing will poison you. Leave me alone!
Ow.
The entire tree, from root to stem, contains more toxicity than a league lobby, and that starts with sap. This thick, sticky, white substance is not only found inside the tree, but thinly coats the entire thing.
So touching it will poison you. Let's just throw the sock away at this point. Why? That has to be like just like someone who covered a sock in water and just froze it. That has to be like bait.
Contains 3 separate toxins that will seep into your system if you so much as brush the thing, causing severe itching, swelling, and chemical burns.
I think it's just because of allergies.
What?
Getting toxic shock from just touching the thing isn't enough for you? Well,
So would the combination of those 3 toxins kill you? I mean, I assume of course it would kill you if left untreated, but would it kill you even if treated? Or is there no treatment for that?
you'll be happy to know that eating the fruit on it can just kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the sap does to your skin, the fruit essentially does to your throat and internal organs. A few bites of Satan's apple here
Yeah.
will cause you to start choking before you experience the worst stomach pain of your entire life, collapse to the ground,
And
puke your
perish.
guts up, and then start shitting them out. But the f***ed up part is even if you don't eat the fruit or touch the tree, it can still poison you.
Huh?
Well, let's say you're walking outside and suddenly it starts pissing down with rain. Thinking quickly, you run for cover under the branches of a tree. A manchineel tree. The rain hits the leaves and the branches of the tree. Mixes with the toxic directly onto your fucking head. This
I see. Just cut down. Can't we just cut down those trees then? Or burn them? Couldn't we just cut the trees down? You just wear like super protective equipment, just cut the trees down. Unless it's just, it has to be a thing where they have to cut the trees down. Otherwise, these trees would probably be all over the country. But I've never heard of these trees.
adorable little octopus.
I thought it was a spider for a second. Huh?
Introducing the blue-ringed octopus, a species of cephalopod native to Australia, and in a shock to precisely 0 people at this point, it's venomous. Because of course it's venomous. Why wouldn't it be venomous? That'd make my life way too easy. Now, to its credit, unlike most of the toxic bullshit
It's colored.
I call home, they at least have the common decency to be coloured like a neon.
Yeah.
However, it immediately loses this credit by being the octopus equivalent of a hobbit, coming in smaller than a 50-cent coin. And this...
So that's their max size? Like, they don't grow any bigger than that? I thought octopus were, like, usually decently big. Like, not like massive, but like they're decently sized.
Is a problem, because it is the most venomous octopus in the world. That's right, this fluoro spaghetti ball is packed to the brim with neurotoxin, more specifically, tetrodotoxin.
The pufferfish one?
That turns cooking a pufferfish into a quick time event. Yeah, these little guys are packing it too. However, because it is Australian, the blue-ringed octopus is on violence timing and is the only animal in the world to use this as an offensive measure by way of a venomous bite. But what does the venom actually do?
So it's so it's an aggressive or territorial animal then. Huh. Well, I already didn't. Well, I already didn't like the ocean as it is in Australia. If I ever were to go with Australia, I definitely would never go.
Well, imagine you're wading through the rock pools with the homies and you accidentally disturb this little gentleman's residence. The blue ring, taking the American approach to home defense, suctions onto your leg and bites you. Best part, it's completely painless. So if you're distracted by how thick your mate's looking in those
Another painless bite followed by like an unexpected death. Is that like just like the special in Australia? I mean, I know in the other video he said the stealth poison multi classes, but is that like normal in Australia? Where anything that is like that highly venomous just bites you and you don't feel it and you wouldn't even tell if it bit you until you start experiencing the symptoms, and then by then it's probably already too late.
speedos, you aren't going to feel That is, until your face starts tingling like TV static. It's warm out here under the sun, but you weren't sweating like this 5 minutes ago, and now you got a headache. You start to feel sick, weak. You go to call out, but your voice comes out slurred like you just knocked back a bottle of vodka.
Huh? How? What is that? What it causes it?
And then suddenly, your legs come out from under you, and you hit the beach. Fun fact about tetrodotoxin. It's a paralytic.
So
Your muscles
yep.
one by one, starting with your arms and legs, which is why you're kissing the sand. You know what else is a muscle? Your diaphragm, the muscle that controls your breathing. And yeah, turns those bad boys off too. And so, your chest stops rising and falling, and you suffocate to death right there on the beach. Now, you may be wondering, how come no one called an ambulance? That's easy. They didn't have time to. You
What?
ended up to meet your ancestors in under 20 minutes. God ordered your ass with same-day shipping, and this little delivered. Employee of the month.
Lyric delirium that's insane. And I didn't have the thing, and I don't have audio on. Or no, do I? Oh no, I do. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. That's kind of crazy how it can just do that. So if you're bitten by this thing, you don't see it. You just die because there's not a chance. You don't have a chance at surviving it. I wonder if there's anyone who actually survived the being bit by this and what their story would be. That would be kind of interesting to learn.
Stepping on this rock could straight up paralyze you. That's because this isn't actually a rock.
What?
It is a stonefish, a species of underwater menace native to Australia, and coming as
Okay, I'm just not going into the ocean ever again, even on the beach.
a surprise to absolutely no one. It is also the most venomous fish in the ocean, because of course it is. And
Yeah,
if the
that tracks.
spiders weren't enough, now I can get packed up by a pet rock.
Pet rock.
Pokemon rejects, such a threat to my mental health. We see stonefish use their special venom for defense. However, unlike most other animals that do this, this little doesn't have the decency to dress like a neon sign to warn you. No, 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 no. This bastard is a 6th prestige prop hunt veteran, having evolved some of the most impressive camouflage in the animal
Holy
kingdom to make hunting easier. And once they've set
Oh, that's insane. That's an insane level of camouflage for an underwater creature.
themselves up, they are basically indistinguishable from Patrick Starr's house. Now, this is a fairly major problem as they love to live in the shallows on the beach, and that venom
How do people go to the beach in Australia? How does the summertime work in Australia? That is now my question. Because there's no way if they live in the rocks in like the shallow parts of the ocean, there's no way that there have not been cases of people stepping on this rock on the fish and just either dying or getting paralyzed.
we talked about earlier is stored in these 13 giant, highly toxic spines that deliver venom when pressed on.
Oh my god, no. That makes it worse. I thought it was just like a situation where the entire thing was coated with a like light layer of venom. Oh my god. If you step on that, you're just fucked. Cuz those 13 needles are just going to just poke straight through your your foot.
You can probably see where I'm going with this. Considering it's hard enough to spot these things while you're paying attention, if you were, say, on a romantic walk along the beach with one of the homies, and while distracted by his ethereal beauty, weren't paying too much attention to where you were walking, it would be very easy to place your foot in the wrong spot and step directly onto 13 hypodermic needles, which would then deliver a ginormous dose of neurotoxin.
Yeah, of course it's neurotoxin.
I thought it was normal venom. No.
Of course it's neurotoxin.
Out the toxin skill tree, producing a mixture of 2 neurotoxins that can flatline you by collapsing your heart and lungs in under an hour. And even
So is there a way to treat it then? Because you'd hear about more deaths to this fish.
if you survive, the sting still causes extreme pain, swelling, and tissue necrosis.
It causes necrosis? That's beyond fucked. It causes necrosis as well.
Because this is Australia, where even the scenery is trying to one-shot me. Stepping on this.
Okay, no. I need if anyone in the comments is from Australia and they watch this video and you happen to want to comment on this and see this part of the video, I need to know are there specific protocols on the beach for spotting these things? Or is it kind of like how the shark things work? Like if there's a shark on the shallows, they'll warn you. Or there's a shark near the shallow parts of the beach, they'll warn you that there's a shark. Sharks are spotted in this area, and you swim at your own risk, kind of thing. I would assume it's kind of like that, since you can't often predict the movement of animals. I assume it would be something like that, but like in the shallows. Or maybe they just have, or maybe this is just certain beaches. Not all of them have these fish, but I could be wrong. But I need an explanation to this. I wonder if there's an explanation. 2 things you can expect sexual assault or hard video: Australia and neurotoxin. No, yeah, okay, yeah. This is true. That's basically what it is. What necrosis is. What we learned from this: in Australia, always pay attention on your path. You do not enter Australia. True. Hey, look at this cool restaurant. See, this would be me. This would fucking be me. This would 100% be me. Hey, look, a cool ass rock. And then I just die from touching the rock because of the fucking neurotoxins.
This animal will peel your face off like a banana.
What?
Introducing the one creature that strikes fear into the hearts of every Aussie. The infamous, terrifying drop bear.
Drop bear? Isn't it
exclusive to the land down under.
Koala?
Nightmare may seem pretty normal at first, closely resembling the koala bear, and that is by design.
Huh?
The bear is an ambush predator, patrolling the branches of the eucalyptus tree and using their keen sense of smell to detect incoming prey. And once they can smell you approaching, they will position themselves in the leaves of the trees, being basically impossible to spot unless you're actively looking for them. And even if you do see them, you're automatically going to assume it's a koala. And that assumption is probably going to be the last mistake you make, because one of these things is inviting the most painful death you can think of.
How?
Once you've walked into range, the drop bear will launch itself from a tree and aim directly for your head. Small animals will
What?
clapped on impact as the 20-kilo drop bear launched itself out of the tree so fast that it snaps their spine. And they're the
so I mean, at least they go quick.
lucky ones, because once they make contact with your head, drop bears will immediately puncture puncture your scalp with their foreclaws and latch on like a fuzzy little face hugger. Once firmly attached to your skull, the drop bear will start to kick out your eyes with its hind claws in an attempt to blind you. And while they are forcing you to cosplay Daredevil, they will be tearing into your face with their fangs like a fucking chainsaw. The attacks are so vicious, most human victims end up being completely scalped and having their faces removed. And even if you manage to pull them off with
What?
sexual assault, those claws contain a potent neurotoxin which will
Of course it's neurotoxin. Of course every single animal is equipped with neurotoxin.
paralyze you in under 5 minutes, allowing them to run you down and eat you alive. Australia loses roughly 600 people per year to drop bear attacks. So
600? How's I'm gonna be honest, if this animal is that much of a threat, why is it, I'm gonna be completely honest, and I know it's gonna offend some people. How have they not either put this animal on the endangered list? How has it not been put on the endangered list? I'm just gonna say that.
if you want to survive your trip down under, I have a secret to share with you about the drop bear. And that secret is that all of this is complete and utter bullshit. Drop bears aren't real.
What?
I made it all up.
Oh my fucking god. I hate everything. So it was an April Fool's thing. I don't think I can see when this was posted. So yeah, last year. So it was April Fool's trick. Fuck. I thought it was real. I thought it was genuinely real for a second. I was about to say, there's no way that this animal is not on the endangered animals list.
I don't think you understand just how old sharks are. We got a boomer. See, I'm not just talking individual sharks. Hammerheads, Bruce from Nemo, Jeff.
Jet. Who?
Your average shark lives anywhere between 20 to 80 years. Nothing all that special.
Yeah.
I'm talking sharks as a species. Because as a concept, sharks are fucking one-tricks. They have mained this class through every
1,000 hours.
adjustment Earth has thrown at them. From climate change to the Ice Age to that time God decided to punt a rock at Barney the dinosaur.
Punching a
Yet when it comes to
rock.
historic shark species, most people think of the megalodon.
The big shark.
The size of a kaiju that was swimming around
Yeah.
around 26 million years ago. Which
I
might
mean-
sound like a long time.
I mean, to be fair, at that time wasn't the ocean the predominant area of the world. There's no land masses.
But as far as sharks go, this thing's a fucking zoomer. Go back around 250 million years to the early Triassic, before the literal dinosaurs, and you'll find Helicorpion.
What?
Sharks with a buzzsaw for a mouth. 250 not far back enough for you? Go back around 300 million years, and you will find Adestus, the fucking pog shark. And
The
if that
pog
is
shark.
not far back enough, you can go all the way back, right to the beginning, to the first recognizable shark, Doliotis problematicus.
Problematicus.
410 million years old. Sharks have existed
Huh.
for 4 times longer than Saturn has had rings.
No
The first
rings.
tree only sprouted out of the ground 385
So like for
years ago. That means
25
million years. Groot's great-great-grandfather was sat in God's drafts while this chased Nemo.
Deliotis, the first
I don't think
Bruce.
you understand just
Sharks being canonically older than Saturn's rings, actually. Yeah, that's insane.
Australia lost a war to emus.
How? How do you lose a word to birds?
Armed conflict with flightless birds. Well, it all started in 1932 when farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory. And emus
Uh-huh.
really like like,
Ah.
coming in at 6 foot tall and 40 kilos in weight, they can eat a lot of it. So when breeding season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry. 20,000 emus
20,000
strong. These
emus?
feathered tanks then proceeded to completely steamroll through the fences
Yep.
into the fields and started laying waste to the wheat. The farmers attempted to fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help. Sir, 20,000 emus have hit the wheat fields. Me, mate. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the army to commence the Great Emu War.
The Great
The
Emu
entire
War.
7th Heavy Artillery Division was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective to blast anything with feathers.
Blast anything with feathers?
Turkey, if you ask me. And upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem.
What?
Emus are fast. Really fast, clocking a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant
Huh,
that
that's
if they
pretty
fired,
fast.
Emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons.
Yeah.
They still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus. This embarrassed
12
them to
emus?
retreat and rethink their plan. So a few weeks later they returned, this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this also didn't work.
How?
Figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket, the emus started leaving scout birds who would warn the flock of the approaching trucks, which gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there.
That's insane.
And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of... Because
Huh?
emus are mostly feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage, meaning it was taking around 10 bullets for every 1 bird. So after a month of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960. The population was
Not even, they didn't even cut the population by a significant margin. It wasn't even 1,000.
This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit. So the army had wasted all that money to achieve
True.
absolutely all. So the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and called it a day. How the fuck did we lose this? I could have done a better job with a boomerang and a cricket bat.
That's insane. I mean, nowadays they probably wouldn't have lost that. They probably would have been able to deter the birds because it was like 1932, and I assume weapons weren't that good back then. Well, considering that the LMGs jammed, they probably weren't that good.
There is a competition in America where they vote on the fattest bear.
Huh?
That's right, lads. F the Super Bowl. I'm about to introduce you to the most important American sporting event of the year, Fat Bear Week.
Fat Bear Week?
Hosted by the Katmai National Park and Preserve in Alaska every year from the 23rd to the 30th of September, the public watches as Winnie and Paddington fight it out to see who is the most absolute of units. And this year's highest calorie Kumamane has been crowned. But before that, how the f*** does Fat Bear Week work?
Ow.
See, the event is held in the lead up to hibernation season.
So, yeah.
Peak of their bulk.
Huh.
Now, while it's running, the park allows the public to view live stream footage from all of their trail cams. These cameras capture all the park's brown bears, allowing us to observe Freddy's fat ass cousins like we just got a job at f***ing Fazbear Entertainment. Each bear caught on camera is assigned a number and occasionally a name. We, the people, then vote on the contestants day by day, pitting them against one another in a f***ing single elimination tournament bracket.
Huh, that's interesting.
Which bear most closely resembles a pyro commission until one bear is crowned the victor. Now, you may think this is just some silly little event, but no, over the years, there has been f***ing voter fraud,
What?
manhunt for a missing hiker, and one year, the trail cams caught one contestant beating to death and eating another bear.
Huh.
But now, to answer the
That'd be very interesting to watch, actually.
of the 2025 Fat Bear Week is 32 Chunk, winning with a broken jaw. They named that f***er after the render distance you need to load in his entire body at once. There is a competition where
Huh.
this snake can take your arm off.
Ow? I mean, it almost
Introducing the
can.
Fer de Lance, a species of pit viper native to South America and Mexico, with this particular nope rope having quite possibly one of the nastiest f***ing bites in the world.
Uh-huh.
This is a fairly major problem because this little has the temperament of an eshay at a train station.
What is that?
Incredibly aggressive and extremely territorial.
Ah, so it's like the East.
In fact,
So it's like a eastern brown snake then from Australia.
this toxic garden hose is such an aggressive little within its range, it makes up an average of 50% of all snake bites. However, despite
So it makes up about 40 to 70% of a snake attacks then. Because bites, I would assume they classify the snake bites as snake attacks.
the huge number of attacks, it's only fatal in 6% of bites.
Why is it called that then if it's only if it only has a 6% fatality rate?
So why is it such a problem? Just because you live the bite doesn't mean you'll want to. You see,
It has necrosis, doesn't it? Or like an extremely violent like extremely aggressive form of necrosis.
when a Fer de Lance bites you, this massive viper sinks its huge inch-long fangs into your skin. And
Oh.
2 teaspoons of venom. You will at this point notice a little status effect bar appear on the bottom of your screen. Don't worry about that. That's a mystery Muscatool that'll hurt us later. Upon being hit,
Mr.
your blood pressure
Muscatool.
immediately crashes lower than the stock market, and you start to feel very ill. The bite wound feels like you've been shot in the leg. You start sweating like someone's looking through your browser history, and then you start puking your guts up. Shortly followed by you collapse into the ground in agony. Now, Fer de Lance venom is hemorrhagic, so while you have
Hemorrhagic?
on the ground, the venom is breaking down the walls of your blood vessels, causing massive internal bleeding. At the same time, it's
Huh? Then how's it only a 6% fatality rate?
seeping into your bloodstream, causing it to thicken and start throwing clots. But hey, you're in luck. You were with a buddy when you got bitten. They rush you to the hospital, and because it's such a common snake bite, they have the anti-venom on hand and administer it immediately,
So anti-venom.
counteracting the venom's effects. There is just one problem. The mystery Muscatool is still there, because anti-venom is not necromancy. So, all the dead tissue around the bite caused by the blood clots and internal bleeding, yeah, still very dead. In fact, it's so dead that it is rotting on your still alive body in a process called necrosis. I can't show you a photo of necrosis because it's genuinely disgusting, but to put it in a term you can understand, the snake applies scarlet rot.
Huh. So it,
Now,
So-
long as that rot's still attached to you, it's gonna spread. So, there's only one way to stop it. Cut it off.
so I would assume that means it has necrosis, or maybe it doesn't. Critical has nothing on necrotize, Fresh. So it's in Mexico and parts of South America. Huh, that's interesting. So does it natively have necrosis, or do the blood clots form caused by the bite is that what causes the necrosis to take place? I mean, either way, it's still bad, but I would like to know. What?
Okay, so as the Aussie animal guy, I feel like I might owe
Why
you
is
an
it running
explanation
across
for
the
this.
water?
That is a a normal fucking Roo. No, he is not Roosus Christ. He's not the second coming, and he's not going to turn your water into wine. Alright, he might turn it into VB if you ask nice. Get that up, But if that's the case, how the fuck is he stealing the Son of God's
Yeah, how's he
The answer
going on
is
water?
fucking sand.
Sand?
Yeah, you see, what's far more likely than a Roo being enchanted with water walking is that he's actually running on a sandbar. That is basically just a fancy description for ocean currents piling up a shitload of sand into one place, creating an offshore sand that's not much deeper than a fucking kid's pool. Now, Roos know about sandbars, and they actually very frequently use them as a shortcut to get from A to B to find more food. So, while it looks like Skippy here is stealing Jesus' entire fucking flow, he's actually on a Macca's mish.
Let me get a.
Huh, interesting. So it's like, so it's kind of like a thing. It's kind of like it's jumping in like a pool, sort of, I suppose. All right, so last short.
Horror villains. I mean,
How?
seriously, this industrial-sized lizard is easily one of the biggest assholes in the animal kingdom when it comes to hunting methods.
But wow, I saw a singular Komodo dragon and it didn't seem that bad.
Packing a PhD in suffering and a double degree in biological warfare,
Huh?
purely because they
Biological
cannot be
warfare?
expending effort to hunt. You see, Godzilla's little cousin here is the largest lizard in the world, weighing up to 166 kilos and being a full 3.13 meters in length, which means, for the short kings in my audience, if you're brave enough, bang a motor transport right. Now, being the reptile equivalent of a Cadillac Escalade means that the Komodo dragon needs to consume a lot of calories to keep that bulk going. However, rather than using that bulk to proactively chase down and body slam its prey, they can take down prey 3 times their size, because as if being a reptilian tank was not enough, they are also venomous. And this isn't just your run-of-the-mill...
Of course it's venomous.
Gives you a nice quick 15-minute death. No. A Komodo hunt starts with it running up to its prey and giving it a nice big chomp on the leg, injecting it with hemorrhagic venom. After biting, the Komodo gets off and just sits there watching. The confused and bewildered animal runs off into the forest, leaking blood, allowing that Komodo dragon to track it like a DoorDash order. A week goes by, and that...
Wait a second, buffalo. Wouldn't that mean... I don't know. Wouldn't it be like a US animal? Or... not Australia. It's definitely not Australia. It would be like a US or... an African animal. Because I think those are the only 2 places I've heard. Well, technically, I've heard buffalo are in the U.S., but I don't know if the Komodo dragon would live in the U.S. I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
Wound isn't closing because hemorrhagic venom prevents blood clots. So the animal is
slow
bleeding out, and the Komodo is still watching. More time passes. That bite wound gets infected because Komodos are carrion feeders. Meaning
carrion feeder?
Mouth is full of enough rotting flesh and bacteria to give Asmongold a run for his money.
That's gross.
To drain the animal's strength, and the Komodo is still watching. Another week passes. The infection has spread, and the flesh has begun to rot. And you best believe that ass lizard is still there watching like he's waiting for his meal to heat up in the microwave. Once the bleeding, disease-ridden animal becomes too exhausted to move on its own and collapses, the Komodo strolls over and eats it alive, shredding it into chunks if it's larger, or if it's small enough, swallowing it whole as it screams on the way down. Even for me, man, that's fucked. Komodo...
That's they're literally villains. That's insane. So they literally just let the animal basically exhaust itself to the point where it's just basically dead already. Uh, that's interesting. I thought Komodo dragons were peaceful, like sort relatively, because I don't think because we had a herpetology class in middle school, and they had a Komodo dragon there. So, and they didn't tell us like all that stuff about it, huh? So I assume they might be like, since it's like a public place or a relatively public place, I would assume that means they have to make sure it doesn't have like the venom and stuff. I would assume, but I don't know. But 'tis the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure to consider liking and subscribing the video. And until the next time, I'll see you guys then. Keep gaming, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.